Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Pixelcast, the Pixel Mixer podcast. I am your host, Ben, and today I am joined by Kain, Kiaran, Ro, and Subversive Asset.
You mispronounced my name.
Hi,
How
Ben.
could you?
What's that, Ro?
Hello.
I'm kidding.
Oh, sorry.
I said you mispronounced my name.
Sorry, Swiggles.
There we go.
Hey
There
there,
we go.
DT.
Shut up. Alright, so, how do we know everyone?
So I guess to start, why I pitched this was, like a lot of people listening might have just joined Pixel Mixers. I want to say that the subreddit VG covers has been around for 2 years. Am I right?
It's around that, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years. And that was 2 years ago. People kept on asking, for some reason, they thought on Facebook there lived like one big group because all these musicians seemed to know each other. And they didn't. So I was like, why not make a Reddit? So I've known Subversive for the longest here. How did I meet you or talk to you?
I have no idea.
Do you think it was GameLark?
I feel like it was earlier than GameLark.
It
I
had
know
to be.
that. Let me think about it. I participated in a few contests, so I don't know if there may have been a contest that.
It might have been.
Oh, it had to be GameLark because Alan featured me as the artist of the month one time.
Yes. So, to explain, I guess, to either you guys or listeners, GameLark's kind of like a smaller version of Pixel Mixers that was kind of developed by one Alan Brash, or Mr. GameLark, kind of just to make very focused video game albums together, kind of bringing about. And he honestly did help make Pixel Mixers in his own way, but... What about you guys? How do you all find Pixel Mixers?
Well, I can start, I guess. So, Ro, you had the Team Up Challenge of, was it 2016, I think?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, and I saw that on your channel, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't enter the contest, but I saw the Reddit that you posted, the VG covers Reddit, and that's when I started this whole journey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I think one of the first people that I actually talked to was Sub, because I had to write an essay for him.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then
Like
just-
a video essay? Or?
Yeah, one of the contests that we did, he was like, if you want to do something else, write an essay and explain why it should fit. So I did just that.
Oh, that.
So to kind of explain, I guess I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got into Pixel Mixers before it was Pixel Mixers. Hashel reached out and said, hey, why don't you join Game Tabs? And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And then it's like everyone was playing guitar, and I was like, oh, I guess that's what the tab is for. Then there was a new, more inclusive group that wasn't just about guitar players, and I decided to go on over to r/VG covers and to Pixel Mixers, and eventually I kept pestering Hashel about the monthly cover contest and saying, why don't we have video along with audio? And he says, well, I hate video, so if you want to do it, then you should run the contest. And that's what I did. And I quickly learned that it doesn't matter what you say as the theme, no matter how simple it is, there will be people who will try to put songs that are borderline or just do not qualify in there.
Looking for loopholes.
And, I was okay with this. I just said, if you write an essay saying why it should count, then you're in. And then people said that they didn't like writing essays, so we got rid of that. But there's still confusion about what counts. So
We were
now I don't even
educating
get to
the
have fun.
youth of America and the world.
It was more like you were giving them homework.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that was probably the first time I wrote an essay since graduating, and I graduated back in 2013, so that was
And
interesting.
you know what? I am glad to be that positive influence in your life.
Honestly, I think writing in general, whatever you're writing, is still useful task. Whether or not we needed it for those contest justification things is another deal. But
Well,
it's
I think that
interesting
also-
you brought up. Oh, good.
Oh, I mean, I think that kind of brings up, and we'll probably discuss this on a future podcast or something, but we are trying to kind of, raise more awareness and bring up discussion and things like that. And it was just something where people could post those essays on the Pixel Mixer's website. And so, maybe if it's something that's interesting to us as a group and it gets discussed in Discord, by putting it out in public, that can, be interesting to other people. And I think that's the idea around this podcast too. It's like we're having all these discussions in this private Discord server, and it's like, why not extend that?
Right. And I think like one of the best parts about this idea is we used to do, and we still do, on Pixel Mixers, the Reddit VG covers, like there are discussion posts, and now and then people really do take advantage of these big questions. And I don't know if any of you guys saw this on Twitter. Dacian Garada, who's another fellow Pixel Mixer, is very active, as well as USub, and we were discussing, a topic on how do people feel when they see one of their favorite YouTubers suddenly just start covering music from one game. And it's like those kind of questions that you can't just message one person. You want to hear from a community how things are. That's like the usefulness of this sort of podcast and this community and so on and so forth, like bringing about those.
Exactly. So when you're listening to this and you hear us say anything, just, comment in the comments and say, like, why didn't you discuss this? Well, maybe we can. We just didn't know about it, and we're trying to get ideas and things.
Right. Or this podcast would have been better if there was a female vocalist. Too soon.
She actually messaged me a few minutes ago.
I'm sorry.
Too late.
Almost.
But it's nice to have this avenue, and hopefully what we can, what you guys can do is like bring on more and more different VGMers for specific topics that they'd like to share experiences with. Like particularly, I really want to have, like basically co-admin Hashel Grandmaster here, because when you mentioned
shadowy
game tabs,
council,
our shadowy council, because the way I found any of this is pretty much thanks to him. For those of you guys who don't know, Hashel05, he was a part of Game Tabs, which it's a website, first of all. There's a website for video game tabs, which is, tablature, music for guitars that cuts out the music theory part. And I didn't know, and maybe you guys, if you go there, you'll see there's a forum, and they had like monthly contests. And at the time, 2.5 years ago, I was struggling in school, and I was really like down about it, and I felt pressured to like quit YouTube for the foreseeable ever. And I was like really down about it, and I was making only music for like on my computer. I was too scared to like, do the process of sharing. And Hashel is doing this Zelda album. Do you guys remember a Zelda or Ocarina of Time Game Tabs album?
I think so, yeah.
I know it happened, but I joined a bit later when they started doing the Final Fantasy VIII album.
Yes, Seas of Time.
Yeah,
where
Hashel
they
got me
were
during-
doing the entire OST, and it took forever.
Hashel
Yes, it
got me
did.
during that.
I actually think I saw Kain first during some of those projects, but that's the thing. Like, I was just talking to this dude, and he was extremely like sincere. Like, he already knew me from afar, but we didn't have a community at the time. It was just like what do they call it? Like spread of word or whatever. People
Word
being
of
like.
mouth?
What? I know the word spread is in the expression,
It's not.
I swear. Okay, word of mouth. Well,
Spread
that's such a
by
weird
word
expression.
of mouth.
Yes, it was spread by word of mouth. But he invited me to like put in songs there, and I really, really liked that concept. At the time, I think I had only done 1 or 2 group albums with like multiplayer, and then Hashel told me about Game Tabs and how it was more guitarists only, and the community's grown so far since then. And eventually, I was just like, "Hey, Hashel, I made a Reddit. It doesn't go down a lot. The servers were really rickety on Game Tabs." So I think him, Silver 102938, if I got that right, and we just like assembled the subreddit and started those contests, which are now like some of the biggest things that we do, right? And then the albums, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the boss battle album? Or yes.
Also before my time.
Yeah, that was before me.
Before your time. Wow. Okay, these are gonna be throwbacks. My brain isn't working today. I'm sorry, guys.
But it's not Thursday.
Throwback Thursday.
I'm sorry, that was a dumb joke.
You know what? Isn't it Thursday for you?
Not yet.
Dang it!
In about 40 minutes.
You know what? We're gonna keep the podcast going 40 minutes so you can be wrong.
Let's do it. Just for the sake of a joke.
Just for the sake of the joke. But yeah, how any of you other guys have stories of how you stumbled upon, or how Pixel Mixers was 2 years ago versus now, especially?
Especially since y'all are young children.
You're like 2 years older than me. What is this?
That's just the law that if anyone is younger than you, they're instantly 12.
That's true. If you're under 18, you're 12.
Yeah.
Or just like, even if they're like a month younger than you, you can declare them 12. I was just going to say the way I got into the Pixel Mixer stuff was originally entering your team up contest, and then that got me doing all these covers, and then Hashel mentioned me on Twitter saying, hey, join this Final Fantasy album. So I did, and then like we got talking through that. Then months later on Facebook, he sends me a message saying, hey, want to join the council? I was like, I'm not doing much, sure. And then
that's usually the qualification.
Yeah, so then I just met all these people, and here we are.
Well, that's really cool. What part of like the contest and sort of things, like, I don't know, how did you find the team up contest? I guess that's what I'm getting at, because I'm...
I was watching, I think it might have been like Family Jules' streams, and was talking with people there, and like had shared a link in a discussion we were having to some original music I was doing. And then I think it was Thunder Scott said, hey, Rose doing this contest.
Wow.
Do it. I was like,
I really...
yeah, sure. And then my song was garbage.
What song did you do last time? Because
it was the Mortal Kombat theme.
Oh god.
I remember
just
that.
solo finger style.
As
and
someone
it was an abomination.
Honestly, I have to say, you've improved so much from when you first started, and I think you'll agree with me. Like, you were making the best of, here and there, and then the last videos you've put out, I'm like, it's like offensive how good they are.
Aw, thank you.
Like,
Yes, you're offending
I'm
me.
glad you've been working really hard, and I'm glad we have like acoustic finger style people. And then you started doing electric too. It's like you're moving on
only
territory.
when it feels like it fits.
Fair
But
enough.
one day I'm hoping to just really throw everyone off and buy an 8-string and start doing some gent.
Please do. Well, I mean, if you've ever heard any of the Animals as Leaders Cleaner songs, they really utilize a lot of your motor strength, and it's pretty impressive stuff. I bet you would probably gel.
Yeah, I
with
actually
that.
really love Animals as Leaders. But it's
Yeah, like
impressive seeing
Modern
them.
Meat.
But I want to see just like an 8-string classical guitar, so I can enter that extended range.
See, the trick is to find something nobody else has quite done on YouTube yet, and then just abuse it.
Yeah, it gets super niche and weird with it.
I'm depressed that I haven't been exploiting my very untunable sitar for that.
Gotta get on that, bro.
Well, to my knowledge, there's not too many people within our Pixel Mixers community that are actively using Indian instruments, let alone the sitar. I know a few have them.
Yeah,
but-
It was when you actually suggested the idea of the GameLark Indian-infused album. I did message my Indian friend Neetan, asking
Okay.
him if he knew of any like instruments and things. and he came up with nothing. It was like,
jeez,
you're not a good Indian, mate.
I'm surprised, honestly, that I knew what little I've known. But to be fair, I just searched it up on Google, and I was like, this sounds very repetitive in its own context. Let's put it in video games instead. And hopefully that works. I haven't used it since.
Well, what about you, Kiaran? You're kind of one of the newer people that's shown into the Pixel
I'm glad
Mixers
you've
area.
asked.
Tell your story.
Yeah, I've kind of been lurking for years on the VGM scene, but mostly just watching. So I think I've actually been subscribed to Hashel's channel for quite a few years. I've probably just found some of his Final Fantasy covers, and that just instantly grabs my attention. So yeah, and eventually I think I just saw a link on Twitter to the Discord, and that is pretty much the first time I ever heard of Pixel Mixers, so I am very much new to everything here. It's kind of acting as the catalyst to get me to make covers, because I'm incredibly good at procrastinating.
It's a skill. What particular about Pixel Mixers kind of makes you more motivated to make music, though?
I guess it's just being around all the other people who are constantly talking about that and doing that exact thing. And if there is any times I might need assistance, I know exactly where to go.
No, I really like that.
It's been good.
One thing I'm curious, I guess, now that you've come out of your shell, so to speak, have you been doing like contests or album participation? I guess I'll find out.
I'd like to. I haven't. I've literally got one cover. I think I've got one on the upcoming Pixel Mixers album.
His one cover was the longest song on the Final Fantasy II album, so he's put.
I actually didn't work on
will.
that one, so I'll have to hear it properly. Normally, I know everybody's song from the mastering.
Do we finally have someone who's going to compete with Jared in terms of writing really long covers?
Oh man, should that be like one of our next contests? Is like Team Jared or Team Kiaran?
No, I don't want to listen to 20-minute.
Well, actually, I think I might do a collab with Jared and just make it endless. Yeah.
How about this? Each of you does 10 minutes worth of arranging in succession, right? And then you just release your own album. By accident.
I think that's a good idea.
No, that's pretty neat though. One of the things that I really love is I've been very bad at participation in the Pixel Mixers album, but Hashel will always message me and basically tell me like, "Bro, you've got to. It's Zelda. Bro, you've got it's Metroid. Bro, you've got." And like without fail, I've almost always ended up making a cover in a few days for something.
Hashtag 3-day deadline. Oh wait, wrong
3-day deadlines. But I really do think there's like some magic or like some, not competitive, maybe like, if everyone's doing it and they're working hard, why shouldn't I kind of mentality that pushes people to create these songs. And, like I recently graduated from school and now I'm working your typical 40-hour work week. And I'm finding it harder and harder to make music, but things like Pixel Mixers don't just go away, right? So...
That's right.
Right, no, like, if someone else is able to make a song while doing all these things, why can't I? Those kind of questions.
It's true. Makes you feel bad if you don't do anything.
Yeah, and you should.
Slight digs there.
I'm
but
kidding.
Yeah, that's like some a great way to get motivation is to see what a lot of others are doing. It's like, okay, well, this person just made this like 50-minute odyssey in 2 days. Maybe I should try and at least do something.
Right. And I mean, that's one of the best resources. I feel like, has there ever been a time when you thought to yourself, man, I don't know someone who could, play this instrument for me? With Pixel Mixers, like, I feel collaborating should not be that hard of a problem, or getting help or what have you.
No, that's what I like about being with this group is like, if I need some help for whatever it is, either an instrument or a mix help, I can just ask people what they think of something, and then they will just tell me. It's not like I have to feel scared or anything, or like have to ask someone very specific what they think of a mix, when I can just get like a general opinion, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, I love that. I've neglected that option a few times, but now and then I'll post in our Discord, Pixel Mixer's Discord, which, you know, it's a lot of fun to go in there and just see what's going on. But it's a lot of help from a lot of people who care about the same things you do musically, and they share your same goals to entertain people and make good music. Or sometimes, like, you know, YouTube discussions, you know, it's not a common knowledge how to license and release a song on your own, or what the best way to brand your channel is. So it's good to have that.
Yeah, I really identify with that. I think that the Pixel Mixer's Discord in particular has a great place, a great opportunity to be that kind of hub for musicians to kind of learn more about the entire process. And so I know definitely for me that like I learned so much about mixing from just posting my stuff and then having people like explain different concepts. And what I like about Pixel Mixers is that I can pretty much guarantee that I'm going to get a few responses. With some of the other groups, it's kind of, well, maybe I might get a response, maybe not. But with Pixel Mixers, there's still enough activity that it's usually possible to get that response. So I feel like, you know, I know that some people are like, oh, I don't want to be part of the community, I don't want to whatever, but it's really helpful for growing as a musician. And I hope that these sorts of discussions we find topics that are of interest to musicians in the community and cover those. Pun intended.
Please. No, that's good. And I think one of the nicest, most like unexpected things, we have a lot of younger musicians who won't have had all these experiences, and we have, you know, musicians who've been around for a long time, gamers for a long time, and, you know, this mixed bag of experience makes it way more fun. And I don't know, like discussing a lot of these things, you get so many good opinions. And I feel like when I did my big switch from Swiggles to Panuganti and changed a lot of my, you know, design stuff, I got a lot of help from Pixel Mixer opinions and stuff.
Yeah, I think, sorry, excuse me. I think that is the key strong point to having the Discord, is like it provides quite a lot of discussion at any time, regardless of the topic. If it's something like branding, how to improve a mix, toppings on pizza, there's usually an active discussion going.
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
I would never put Bandcamp on a pizza.
Oh. No,
I've never
that
had
doesn't
Bandcamp
happen
on
anymore.
on a pizza.
Actually, what's everyone's opinion on pizza toppings?
Oh man, who's gonna say it?
I don't
I'm just
mind
gonna put it out there.
I don't.
If you don't like pineapples, you're banned.
Well, shit.
Well, okay, pineapples and ham. And ham is traditionally eaten with sweets, so
I can live with that.
yeah, I would live with that.
No, I gotta go.
You're all heathens.
Yeah. I gotta go classic though with pizza. Just like give me some pepperoni and cheese, or like pepperoni and olive. Like, just keep it simple.
Yes.
Just make a really good pizza for me. I'll eat it.
I actually just baked myself pepperoni and mushrooms.
Mushrooms is solid topping.
A lot of people don't like it because the texture is meaty or something, but I love them. I don't get it.
I don't actually like pizza that much. So,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry, banned.
Just gonna ban you right now.
So there's this other community that you would love. Actually, does anyone have a good like music or YouTube discussion point?
a good one?
I believe we were meant to talk about the newest contest theme, which is ending themes.
and credits.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Is it ending and credits, or are you discussing whether credits fit into
Yeah,
endings?
is it like ending like a
that
boss
is
battle?
the point of discussion. There's actually
see.
no
Yep.
and. It is ending credits.
A
We
song-
finally got to it 27 minutes later.
Well, I'd say regarding credits, usually credits come after the ending, so that's not the ending theme.
So the idea
It would depend on the
is-
game.
And
Maybe.
we haven't actually hashed this out. I'm sure that people will submit stuff for both, and we probably should figure out what the deal is.
Include both, less arguments. I
Yes.
said that.
Okay,
Whoever
if
said
that's
that,
what
I
we
agree.
want, then that's what we will have. The original idea was it's the credits. So if there's not a name roll, then it doesn't count. Is
Well,
that too
not every
restrictive?
game credits their people. What if like it wasn't unionized and they just like got away with it?
Like, what? No. Then you shouldn't support that game, and you shouldn't support.
What if the music was really good and the game is bad?
If the music was
That's
good, then
super
you
Haven't you
should
played
be given
Undertale?
credit.
Oops. No, but I mean, like, I agree, but I do think it's kind of like ending themes for movies. Before 1970 something, the credits came at the beginning, so it's like,
That is
what,
so
everyone,
dumb. Can I just say how annoying that is whenever credits
When
at
it's
the
at the
start of the
beginning?
film? How annoying is that?
Yeah, I think Star Wars was the first, like, very popular movie to be like, let's not put the name of everybody who was in it first. Let's
But
put the movie first.
let's be real, and this is also relevant to us as YouTubers. When you put stuff at the end, no one pays attention. So, like, like, comment, subscribe. Like, no one's paying attention to the end.
But I skip videos that have long, arduous intros on YouTube.
But
so.
what
Yep.
if the intro is text and the actual song is still playing?
That's fine. Yeah.
I watch your videos. It's the response you've gotten out of me.
But to your point of things being before credits existed, in terms of games and for this theme, I don't think anyone's going to be covering the end credits to Pong.
Where's my
It's-
notebook of covers to do?
I have to
Pong
say,
on it?
Extra Lives did a cover of Pong for our Pong-themed contest.
Wait, we got a result for that?
Was for April 1st?
April 1st, we made the theme Pong.
gosh.
April 1st, they released a video on Pong. Coincidence? I think not.
You've got me there. What can I say?
Like, no joke, there's this Pong game for, I think, the PlayStation, and it has a really awesome soundtrack. And I was really hoping that contest was actually going to stay for the month. That way we all just attack that one soundtrack and just go at it.
I would love.
Does it have a
for-
decent ending credits theme?
I don't know that.
We should do one summer when everyone is very, very like willing to do something stupid, and then just pick a very obscure game and cover it entirely, and make that one composer's day, like Pac-Man 3D or Gex 64.
Yes, someone mentioned in the Discord to do like was it Bubsy album?
Okay, that's different. That's just no.
Wow.
If the music is good, I guess there's no real reason not to. But yeah, credits and endings, I feel they vary. Like, I don't know.
I could think of have anyone played Flower? Because
That was the same people who did Journey, wasn't it?
yeah, that's right.
Right.
The very last level is the credits, so you have to kind of fly through the credits, and that there's probably a theme playing at the same time, so that's when the credits is the ending theme at the same time.
That would count.
Right.
Just one very
I don't see
niche
any
example.
reason not to generalize, as long as, like, if we were going for the context and the feel of it, then usually they're both interchangeable, I imagine. Unless the ending is really sad and all of a sudden the credits are super happy. But who would do that?
So I guess what you're saying, though, is that both ending and credits should be accepted, even if they're different.
Yes. I can't
That's
think
probably the
actively
easiest
of a
way.
lot of games that are different. maybe like games with multiple endings or something like that. I mean, to that effect, like, what are some really good credits / endings so that we can see the distinction?
Wow, I did not do
That
my
is a
homework on
tough
this.
question.
I'd say like anything with staff roll as the title.
Right. I mean, like, Ocarina has a
Link
staff
to
roll.
the Past,
but
Mario
there's a-
64.
Right. The Ocarina one is in my brain right now, but the fight with Ganon feels like a ending theme, but it's not. Because it's
I
a
did
boss
actually
theme.
look up the Ocarina credit roll, and it is just a medley of pretty much every song in the game.
That's most of Zelda's music, let alone their credits, though.
True.
Like, I was listening to Hero of Time, the big Materia Collective album, and the arrangements shove so many, like, motifs at you that all of a sudden I noticed Zora's Domain and Hyrule Field have similar structure, and I was like, this isn't okay. Like, my brain was hurting, and everything was interlapping. So, like, half of credit themes are other themes. Even, like, Super Metroid, I think, has a really cool credits theme, and it's just, like, a montage of, like, Samus's theme and stuff.
Speaking of which, who's hyped for the Metroid album?
I am
I
super
am.
Me
hyped.
when I finish it. It's
If
from
only it
just
would
hearing
be
the
released.
preview and what I've heard, it's so good.
That preview is damn cool, actually, yeah.
No, the thing with, like, Metroid, especially the 2D games, there's just, like, every song feels simpler than you would think, and that makes it just as, like, good, if not better. It's very, like, survival. Like, a lot of the songs are quiet. And then there's, like, intense boss songs. And
Yeah, you get some kind of levels and the themes for them which are just pure kind of atmospheric rather than melodious. And then, yeah, the
Which
boss
made-
themes are just completely opposite sometimes.
I feel like that's made the album a lot more interesting, as how a lot of it is atmospheric kind of stuff. So it's like quite challenging to actually arrange something like that.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what people have done with those tracks with the actual release of the Metroid album.
Yeah, I just
do think-
specifically chose a track that wasn't atmospheric, so I wouldn't have
what
to
did
struggle.
what did you choose? Sorry, I haven't looked at all the
I
tracks yet.
I did the Arachnus X boss theme from Fusion.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I actually don't think I've gotten a chance to play Fusion. I played Zero Mission, which was just the first game remade, and then I've played Super. But that's the thing,
I
like,
played a bit of Fusion, got stuck really quick, and then probably just never went back to it.
that's Metroid.
Yep.
But that's the thing, like, I feel like the game is maybe 30-70, like 30% really intense thematic character themes and fights and engaging, and then in between you have these, like, groovy songs like Brinstar, was it Overgrown? The do 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 do, and like all
If
these
you say
like
so.
small. I'm pretty sure that's the one. Hopefully.
Ro is entered doing a cappella now.
Yep, that's his
I'm
track for
giving-
the album.
Watch out,
I'm
Smooth
selling
McGroove.
everything. Yeah, my Ridley theme is literally just me humming it while I make toast and chomp noises included. No,
What do you think we'd have to do to get Smooth McGroove to do a song for an album?
I mean, what would we
Yeah.
have to do to get him to
Email
post
him.
anything?
Ouch.
Touche.
I was not
Alright,
even thinking
you can
ouch.
mute all of this slander.
It's just like,
He's actually a pretty nice person.
Yeah,
but
it's
he
like-
came to MacFest 3 years ago.
I just
I don't know
assume
what
he's
he
just
does.
kind of busy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the pineapple pen guy. What do you think he's doing?
Living off royalties.
It's sweet that you think he got royalties. Hopefully he did.
And maybe he has enough to buy himself a pineapple. I don't know.
And a
Or
pen.
at least a pen.
Maybe both.
Who was this
Anyway.
pineapple pen guy?
Oh
You
my
I have
don't-
no
gosh.
idea.
You don't know Pineapple Pen Guy?
There was a little viral
really
sing-along song person who sang about pens and pineapples.
You
and
need to
fusing them
YouTube for
together.
this.
Someone link him after.
Yeah, well,
So Metroid's pretty cool, and I don't know. For those of you guys who aren't on an album, the process is kind of like we take a series or a specific theme and dissect it and give out songs based on, was it first come, first serve?
No, not first come, first serve. No.
No, people didn't like when we did that.
It goes by a fair method that Ro has never paid attention to because they always give him what's left.
It's okay.
It is a
because
pretty fair method.
No
It
one
was
else
quite
pays
good.
attention to the method. To Hashel's
Well, I never complained
displeasure.
about it, so I don't have to.
It gets to the point when every time we do a pre-claiming sheet, the text at the top is getting a bit bigger with the rules.
Your requirements are getting larger and larger. You have to send an essay explaining why you deserve that song.
You have to verify that you actually read the rules for the
Yeah.
entry.
He
You
needs
need
to have
to do
yeah.
a two-way
He needs to have a
caption
verification
bottom.
code.
Yeah.
And the caption's just like a picture of Hashel.
What emotion is he displaying? And it's just him looking miserable.
Very neutral.
Contemplating how many tracks are going to be clipping when they get sent to him.
Yeah, guys. So this is where we can actually give you our.
Oh my god, I
you know,
can rant.
1 minute of. You only have 1 minute of practical life advice as a musician. If you're part of a group album, you do not master yourself. Repeat after me, everyone. We're gonna have a point of silence where you can do that, and we will be watching.
Don't hurt Rose's ears.
We will be checking your
Don't
computers
limit.
to see if you repeated that.
Another thing is, if you can, don't hit normalize on any track you can, because it doesn't really help out, unless you're just absolutely having to bring it up. But don't do that for your master or whatever you send Hashel, which gets sent to me. Besides that, you don't have to compress it. I'll be able to tell if you over-compressed it. I won't be able to tell if you under-compressed it. And the whole point of all of this is so that when someone picks up the Pixel Mixer album, they will be able to listen to it without fiddling with their volume knobs. It'll sound slightly more professional and enjoyable. It won't be harsh. It'll sound good in your car. It'll sound good on your headphones. It'll sound good. What's another thing people use to listen to music?
Bluetooth speakers.
It'll sound good on your little
Zoom.
Bluetooth speaker that you, yeah.
Yeah, no,
It'll
it
sound
won't.
good through
Get
your-
rid of those Bluetooth speakers.
Your school's auditorium where
It
you
won't sound
snuck
good on
in
your
to-
phone because all the low end will be gone and it will never come back.
I mix on my phone exclusively. Do I need to change some
Using
of my
some
process?
Beats by Dre headphones.
Actually, it should sound good on Beats or anything. I used to check with my. I used to have a pair of Razer Krakens that Razer sent me. I used to make or like double check mixes on that to see if they sounded good, and then I realized nothing sounds good on them anyway.
Take that, Razor.
I threw them in the trash where they belong,
Dang.
but I kept them for
Ooh,
years. So.
Well, there goes
Sorry.
any product sponsorship deals.
I know. Goodbye,
Only from
Razor.
If you
Razer.
send me a product, I'll throw it in a bin.
Well, if it's bad, it's not my fault.
If we ever do
it-
endorsements on this channel, you'll know it's real because if it wasn't good, we will trash them.
Well, I do have one endorsement, but it's not a product. It's more like a group of products. So I can't and have zero reason to talk bad about them. But everyone else, be on watch.
I think that's a pretty good stopping point for this episode.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still not Thursday, so all is well.
Oh man,
I'm
we got
so
it.
upset.
It is Thursday. No one will ever know.
It's
8
Thursday
minutes
when this
off.
comes out, assuming
Who
someone
needs these 8
edits it
minutes?
by
It's
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. All right. So thank you all for joining us. Kain, where can we find you?
YouTube.com/Kain White Music.
Oh yeah, do you want to plug one thing that you're working on too?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Spill your
What am I
secrets.
working on?
Are you featured on the Metroid album?
I am, so check that out.
What track?
Whenever
What
it
track?
comes out.
Hey, I'm working.
Well, hopefully it should come out pretty soon, I'm guessing.
I have to master it, and that's it.
Hurry up, bro.
Kain, what are you working on for Metroid album? What was your song?
I decided to do Frozen in Time from Metroid Fusion, and I don't know why I chose that song. It's like 6 notes repeated.
That's kind of cool.
Kiaran, what about you?
Well, I don't have a clue what my YouTube thing is. It's probably like some weird number, but I'm sure there's a link somewhere. I have a track on the Metroid album, as said, and I'm also working on another one for a, I guess, secret album at the moment, which I can't reveal. Otherwise, Hashel would probably be upset.
Probably.
So yeah, that's me.
All right, and Ro.
You can find me on YouTube or Twitter or whatever at youtube.com Panuganti, or you can just see me on Pixel Mixers once every month. And I am working every week on a video. Next one is Chrono Trigger's 600 AD win scene. And I don't listen to this band very often, but I took a lot of nods from Sean, and more like uppity, skippity, funk stuff. And I did Ridley for Metroid, so that's all coming.
Yeah, that should be pretty good.
I hope so. I actually, yeah, I did it yesterday.
Nice.
Or I finished it yesterday.
All right, and last but not least, Subversive Asset.
You can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/subversiveasset. As was recently pointed out, you can also find me on Twitter, but it's not at subversiveasset, it's at GA So eventually I'm going to have to change one or both of those to align. In terms of music, I am struggling to learn jazz in 2 weeks. So whenever I figure that out, that will be
For what purpose?
the jazz challenge. Other than that, something that will be more successful inevitably is I am working on a series of videos on copyright, content ID, and licensing for the video game musician. So that's going to be like a big deal.
Nice.
Cool. Can't wait to see all that happen.
Don't forget, where could we find you, Ben?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what my YouTube URL is because I haven't hit the subscriber count yet.
Hey.
So it's youtube.com/.
Fix that, everybody.
I know.
Plug.
I know. Subscribe to me, people. But yeah, I'm on YouTube. I do covers and stuff. I'm on Twitter. I think I'm just at Bullicann, BULLICANN. And yeah, you'll see me around in Pixel Mixers and whatnot. Thank you all for joining me. I hope to see you in the next episode if this gets picked up. All right.
NBC, please.
I know. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.